Over the past 8 years, we saw Barcelona's pressing, intensity, and aggressiveness decline. Between 2017 and 2021, Barcelona were going down on a spiral, and the only thing Barcelona were doing through that era was rely on their talents, like Messi, like Suarez, like Piqué, like Jordi Alba or Lenglet. They gave you good technical quality, great solutions to attack, but they did not give you the 100% focus, the aggressiveness, the intensity, the pressing, the energy. None of that was there. The teams that we were assembling between 2017 and 2021 was just a team that relied on for the opponent to misplace a pass or to make a mistake, and then for us to regain the possession, and not to like even counter with the ball, but to get the ball back and then pass the ball around and then find a key pass through either Messi, Suarez, or Jordi Alba. And that was basically it. We relied on the brilliance of our players. And I'm not saying that that is a bad thing, because we will see Barcelona do that in this season under Hansi Flick, but you cannot solely rely on just that to get you to the top of the world. We really did need much more aggressiveness and energy, and so we failed to do that under Ernesto Valverde, under Setien, under Ronald Koeman. And then when Xavi came in 2021, the rise in intensity was going up. It's not exactly where we wanted to see Barcelona, but we had an improvement. Like, there were moments in games where we did require much more intensity, and because Xavi Hernandez's Barcelona was so young, we also did lack the elite mentality and the 100% focus. It was inconsistent, and these are two qualities that is carried by players who have played through many years, right? The experienced players. And so overall, under Xavi Hernandez, we found better solutions to attack. We had more aggressiveness, we had more focus, but was it enough? And it wasn't. And so to Joan Laporta and Deco, they saw this as an opportunity to move on away from Xavi Hernandez, because they believed that they have found the ceiling with Xavi and that they need somebody else to exploit even further what this Barcelona team could do. They needed a coach that can bring out more focus, more aggressiveness, bring on the elite mentality. And that is why they introduced Hansi Flick, because Barcelona is no longer a team that has missing talents or missing technical quality or missing experience. Barcelona currently has all of those things. What we are currently missing today is the top physical and mental condition, and that's basically it. That is what makes Hansi Flick's appointment so perfect, is because he can give exactly that. The reason why I'm giving you guys this type of context is because Hansi Flick said something very interesting after the match against Real Madrid that pretty much set the tone on how Barcelona are going to be approaching this season, right? The expectations are high. And so this is what Flick said. We knew it was a Clásico match, even though it was preseason. I told my players that we want to see an improvement on the pitch compared to what was showed against Manchester City. I believe that it is what happened, and we did a good job. In some situations, we collapsed too much during the match and do not put pressure on the rival player who has the ball. This cannot happen. This is a problem. We have to focus on this and press during the whole match. And then another journalist came in and asked him about the win against Real Madrid, and then he continued to say that, well, we didn't press for the full 90 minutes, and this is a problem. And so you can clearly see that to Hansi Flick, he only wanted to point this out. He was not satisfied with this win. You can even see it through his facial expressions. When Barcelona were winning 2-0 or 2-1, Hansi Flick did not care. He always seemed unsatisfied. And now he is saying to the press and to the media and to us that this is the reason why he's not glorifying this win. It is because he still sees some holes, and some holes that we need to cover. And that is being 100% intense throughout the whole match, never allowing for the opponent to get through us. We always need to pound on these players and make sure they have no time on the ball. We cannot allow them to breathe. We need to suffocate them and press them well. And Hansi Flick wants to fix this and do it as fast as possible. And this, my friends, is exactly what Barcelona need, and what's going to make Barcelona go on top. Because like I've said, we're not missing any technical quality or any missing talents. We have all of those things. What we need is to be in top physical shape. And when you are in top physical shape, you can press 100% and you're going to be 100% focused. And it's what's going to allow for Barcelona to overcome teams like Man City, like Real Madrid, like Bayern, like Arsenal, like Inter Milan. Like, we did not get beaten by these clubs in the past 2 years because we lacked technical quality. Real Madrid beat us because Vinicius kept running with the ball. Bayern Munich beat us because they overpressed us. Arsenal beat us in a friendly 5-3 or 4-3 because they were more intense than us. Inter Milan beat us in the Champions League because they were more intense than us. We let our guard down in many of these games against these teams. If Barcelona can up their tempo and their aggressiveness and their pressing, we will be miles ahead better. Now, in order for us to achieve the perfection in pressing, we need to be in top physical condition. It's important, right, to be early in the preseason, to train under Hansi Flick, learn the concepts, learn the drills, understand your roles. That is why I am very happy to see that today it was announced that Ferran Torres, Pedri, and Lamine Yamal are now in the preseason training. They have have arrived today. And I just cannot wait to see how Xavi performs under these type of environments, because we already know what type of monster Xavi is. Can you imagine how Xavi is going to turn out once he does have 6 to 7 weeks under Hansi Flick's training? So moving on from that, I also want to give further details on how Barcelona pressed today and what we have seen in the matches against Man City and against Real Madrid, right? When do they press? When do they not press? And what new attacking concepts have we learned that Hansi Flick has introduced? And so let's talk about that, right? Here we can see Barcelona go up against Manchester City. You can see that the players are pressing the corners a lot, and we see them do that throughout the whole game, always pressing either the right back or the right center back, and to force them to make a long ball in order for us to get the ball, which is amazing, right? You can see that the center back of Man City had no outlets, no players to pass it to. Every player was covered by Barcelona's amazing stance and their positioning. Let's move on towards the next picture. Here we can see a situation where Barcelona is narrow and they are defending Man City in a 4-4-2 mid block, right? Their stance is very firm, and the reason why they're so narrow and why they're so compact in the middle is because they want to force for the balls to go wide, right, to the full backs, because they don't want to invite for the balls to go through the middle, and that is where City can do the most damage. How many times have we seen Kevin De Bruyne or any other central midfielder receive the ball and then quickly pass it to Erling Haaland, who makes the run through the middle? That is the reason why Barcelona have very compact in the middle and are forcing for the balls to go out wide. And when the balls do go out wide, like I've said, Barcelona do press the fullbacks and they force Man City to lose the ball, right? So it's brilliant coming from Hansi Flick. He wants this 110% through the game. Here is going to be another example that shows just how committed Barcelona are to their mid block. And part of the reason why they're so congested, right, it's so narrow, so compact, is because Hansi Flick is aware that they might lose control of the game if they open up. Now you may ask, but how does a team lose control of the game when they don't even have the ball in the first place? Well, that is because they're forcing Man City to go a certain way. That is controlling the game. Because if, just notice, right, all of the players being behind the mid line, right, because if they decide to open up and to press up high, right, to take a step higher, it's going to leave spaces behind them, right, behind the midfield line, behind the defensive line, and that killed Barcelona before. Barcelona fell for that bait multiple times last season. Every time we saw Xavi Hernandez's Barcelona press up high, we're like, oh my god, look how brave Barcelona is. Look at these players just pressing with Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, Pedri, Gavi. Wow, they look so much more energetic, but only to find out that one long pass behind the defensive line that contained Christensen and Araujo, or Christensen and Koundé, made Barcelona suffer because there were so many spaces and Barcelona had to track back as fast as possible because the opponent was on the counterattack. And so Hansi Flick wants to give that no chance, and that is why we stay back a little more compared to what we saw in the previous season. And to Barcelona, it's okay, right? To Barcelona, they're like, okay, just allow for the center backs to have the time, no worries, because if they want to pass it through the middle, they can't. If they pass it through out wide, we'll get the ball back within a span of 3 to 4 seconds. It's very German-like. Hansi Flick also said this a month ago about what type of tactics he is going to be implementing. And then Hansi Flick was like, really, journalist, you want me to tell you? And then he started laughing, but then he continued to say that without the ball, we want to direct the opponents to the place we want them to so that we can win possession. We want to press well and perhaps sometimes a little more than usual. So this is basically explaining what we are seeing today in the preseason. You want to direct the opponents to the places we want them to so we can win the possession. Barcelona is forcing for the opponent to put the ball to the fullbacks or to the right center back or to the left center back and press on the flanks and to win the ball back. Now moving on towards the next match against Real Madrid. Once again, we can start seeing the consistencies here. We're compact, we're narrow, we invite for the balls to go through the flanks. You can see Rudiger with the ball thinking that he knows what he's doing. Barcelona are giving him all the time in the world and waiting for the bait. Now I do want to move on towards something interesting, right? Now let's talk about when Barcelona do have the ball. This goal here that Pau Victor did score against Real Madrid, which was the first one, showcased one of the concepts that Hansi Flick has brought to the club. I also talked about this on X, aka Twitter, so if you guys do want to follow me there, go follow me. I do talk about football tactics there first before I even talk about it here on this YouTube channel, but I basically explained that before Valle received the ball and before he made that cross into the box, you can already see 4 total players from Barcelona already running into the box. Hansi Flick is obsessed with this. He always wants to have numbers inside the box before a cross or a through pass in general. This is what creates numerical advantages inside the box, and in order for us to have more goal scoring opportunities. This is something that he did well with Bayern Munich through 2019 and 2021. It makes for the opponent so hard to defend against, and Barcelona are going to be doing this a lot of times, and it is going to be fun to see because the potential of this strategy is limitless. Who knows how good we can be with this attacking concept? Can you imagine, right? Lamine Yamal on the right flank making those crosses into the box, right? Because his crosses are very accurate, very well thought out. He's a crossing expert, and then with our players inside the box being Lewandowski, maybe Fermin Lopez, maybe Xavi, maybe even our brand new striker, Pau Victor, we can be really good at this and very dangerous. I mean, like, just look at this frame here. You can see that it is a 4 versus 3 situation. Real Madrid stood no chance inside the box. It's very quick. Like, if you go look back at this replay here, everything happens so fast, and that is the type of football Hansi Flick likes to implement. It's like within a span of 1 to 2 seconds, you're in a very much different scenario. And so it's very exciting, right? The faster we get our best players into the training sessions, the better, because it does take some time. I mean, like, if you really think about it, these players who are still making errors, right? Just like Hansi Flick did say, we were not always intense or aggressive or pressing. Even with Hansi Flick being with these players for 2 months, it does take some time. They still made some errors. So can you imagine how long it will take when Frankie, Araujo, Lamine Yamal, Pedri all do come back and train together? How long that will take? It is going to be taking about at least 6 to 7 weeks for us to finally see results, which is why I pray for these players to get here as fast as possible, right? Jules Koundé understood this from the very beginning. He got to the training sessions very early, but we are taking more advanced steps and we are headed towards the right direction. I do think that Barcelona will be 100% ready and equipped and primed by the time we do head towards November 2024. And I pray that all of our players are healthy. And I also pray, right? I know that it is coming a little out of topic for today's video, but I pray that Nico Williams and Dani Olmo get into this team as fast as possible, because the more players, the better. The more depth we have, the better we can implement all of these strategies without getting through serious injuries. And so that is it. That is going to be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.